welcome back to the studio. Today I'm going to be bringing you another low impact HIIT workout followed by a deep muscular stretch again. So today's session is really going to be focusing on toning the muscular groups in the lower half of the body. So we're going to be toning up those glute muscles, adductors, abductors, quads, hamstrings and the calves. So the HIIT workout is going to be divided into two sections. The first half of the HIIT workout is going to be very floor-based. We're going to be doing some pulsing exercises to really focus on the toning. And the second half of the HIIT workout is going to be on our feet, going through some explosive calf raises into some sumo squats. And then once we finish the HIIT workout, again, we're going to go into a deep muscular stretch, focusing on the lower half of the body. So as per previous video, we're going to just follow my instruction, follow my guide, and really enjoy a good toning session followed by some good flexibility work. So enjoy, guys.
First of all, you want to bring yourself onto all fours, shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. You want to maintain a neutral spine throughout all of these glute activation exercises. So let's start with those fire hydrants. Bringing that knee all the way out to the side and feeling the resistance at the top. Keep the knee lifted and make sure you're feeling the resistance as you squeeze to the top of the range of movement. Good. Now our next exercise is going to be donkey kicks. So take that leg back, flex the foot and bring it to the ceiling. Now your focus here wants to be on the upward pulse. So you don't want to drop the thigh. You want to keep the thigh elevated and just pulse upwards, and you should start feeling that burn through your glute. Keep pulsing towards the ceiling, keeping that quad lifted. Good. And now from here, keep the quad lifted and just extend from the knee. So you just want to go through a motion of keeping everything still apart from that knee joint, which is going to be going through a flexion and extension contraction movement. Good. You should feel the burn through the glute and potentially through the back of your thigh muscle as well there. Good. Keeping the legs still and just pulse upwards with a straight extended leg, making sure you're pulling up from the knee so your leg isn't bending through the center. And again, focusing on that upward pulse. Making sure you're not dropping the leg. Good. You should be feeling the burn. Now bringing the body down, crossing over the leg behind, and again, pulsing upwards. As you see, we don't drop the leg all the way down to the floor. We just focus on the upward movement of the pulse up. Up, up. Good. You should feel the burn all the way through the right glute, crossing that leg over as much as you can. Last few reps. Good. Now bringing the body onto the side, bending the underneath leg, lifting the body up and pulsing that leg again upwards, keeping the foot nice and flexed. Ensuring you're in a stable position, making sure everything is correctly aligned in a vertical alignment. Good. And now into our clamshells. So really opening up that top leg. And this is a really good one for our abductors and adductors. Working those thigh muscles, feeling that resistance, feeling the burn. Making sure your movement is controlled. And onto our backs for our final exercise of glute bridges. So make sure you're really driving those hips as high as they will go, squeezing the glutes at the top, squeezing at the top and lowering slowly through the spine. So you want to make sure you're not just dropping the back flat onto the mat. You want to roll gently through the vertebrae back into that initial starting position before you drive up through the hips. squeezing at the top each time to feel the glutes burn. Good. Now we will start all of that exercise again on the opposite side. So back into our fire hydrants, bringing that knee all the way out to the side, feeling the resistance at the top. Making sure our alignment is also correct, so your wrists want to be underneath those shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Making sure you're reaching your full range of movement, taking the knee as high as it will go to the side. And into our donkey kicks. Again, taking that quad all the way up, driving that flexed foot up into the ceiling. Good. The higher you bring the quad, the more you'll feel the burn. Last few reps here. And extend that leg. And just bend from the knee joint so we're flexing and extending the knee. Keeping that foot nice and flexed. Trying to keep the quad as still as possible. Last few reps here. And straighten the leg, and again, those straight extended pulses all the way up. Pulling up from the knee, ensuring we've got a straight back leg. As you can see here as well, you want to make sure that your elbows are not locked. You want to have a gentle bend in the elbows for your support. Last few reps here, all the way down to the floor, crossing that back leg all the way over the other leg, and pulsing upwards. Again, ensuring both legs are nice and straight, especially the working leg, really pulling up from the knee, and just pulsing upwards so you can feel that burn all the way through the glute. Now we're going to turn over onto our sides and pulse upwards. To ensure you're in the correct alignment here, you want to make sure that your shoulders are still in line with the hips and your weight isn't too far back. Ensuring your elbows under your shoulder will also help you balance and have a strong position here. Maintaining the correct alignment is always important to ensure we can get the correct activation of the correct muscles. And into our clamshells, opening up that leg, feeling the resistance at the top and squeezing back down. Again, always ensuring you're really going through a full range of movement. Not just going halfway, but really to the top. Onto our backs for our final exercise of glute bridges. Driving those hips all the way up and slowly lowering through the spine. Squeezing at the very top. Once you've reached your optimum range of movement, squeeze. Good. Last few reps here. Well done, guys. That's the beginning of the glute activation complete. Now for our explosive calf raises into squats. So we want to really ensure that we're maintaining the correct alignment for our calf raises, ensuring everything is stacked on top of each other neatly, pelvis tucked under, and swinging those hips forward all the way on top of those toes, driving those heels up so you can activate those calf muscles. You can swing the arms back as well to help you drive your weight forward all the way on top of those toes. And out to the side for our squats. So making sure those knees stay over the toes, chest lifted, back straight, and dropping those glutes low into the floor. As low as you can go in order to get that maximum activation. Squeezing at the top, driving those hips forward as you come to your standing position at the top. Last few reps here, second round. Again, maintaining that correct alignment and driving those hips forward. Now, as we get onto the top of our tiptoes, it can be a little difficult sometimes to maintain that control and balance. So really ensure that you're engaging those abdominal muscles, or put your hands on your hips to help you balance. Driving onto the top of your big toes and pulling your heels inward will also help you balance. Out into our squats now. Knees over toes, chest lifted, straight back and driving those glutes all the way back and down into the floor. Squeezing at the top, hips driving forward. Making sure that you're really regulating your breath as well through a steady inhale and exhale routine of breath flow. And back into our calf raises. Final set. Realign and begin. Remembering all those tips and tricks to help you balance. You want to explode on the way up and go slower on the way down. All the way up, down, all the way up, down. The movement on top of the toes needs to be explosive in order to really activate those calf muscles. And out into your final squats. This is your last round. Really try and get as deep as possible, dropping those glutes as low to the floor as you can go. Good. Knees all the way over toes. You're coming to your last few reps now. Good job. Really driving those hips forward, squeezing, and well done, guys. Shake it out. Good. Now we want to get into our deep muscular stretch for those muscles we've just worked all throughout our lower body. So we want to bring that heart rate back down to resting and increase the range of movement about these joints and muscles. So here in this lunge movement, you want to ensure your back leg is straight and your front knee is over your ankle. If you want to rest on your leg, you can do. Make sure the hands are resting though on the quad muscle and not on the knee joint. Hands out to the side if you can. To help you balance, make sure you're really pulling back from the chest and engaging those muscles in the abdominal area. Arms up if you can. And now we're going to take a slight back bend. If you can. If not, just hold it there. Make sure you're really dropping those glutes and hips down into the floor before placing that back knee down onto the mat. Again, driving those hips forward to increase that stretch all the way through the hip flexor. Hands on the lower back and pushing your weight forward to give that increased stretch. Good. Pulling back from the upper body, yet driving forward with those hips. And now turning out that front foot and bringing both hands on the inside of the leg. Now you should be a lot closer to the floor. If you can bring the elbows down, that's fantastic. If not, just have both hands on the floor and just keep driving those hips down and forward. Bringing the body up. And if you would like to take that extended stretch here for the quad, then do so by taking the foot to behind, drawing it into the glutes, trying to keep both the hips though parallel under your shoulders. Now stretching out that front leg, maintaining a 90-degree angle within the back leg that's bent, keeping the front leg nice and straight, flexing the foot if you wish, and then bringing the hands either side of the leg, slowly walking them down towards the foot so you can relax the body lower towards the leg. Through each exhale, try and drop the body closer. Now relax the body down onto the mat before coming into your pigeon stretch. So this is a really good one for stretching out the glutes as well as the hip flexors. So you want to ensure the back leg is nice and straight. Make sure you're really over the center of the kneecap and not resting on the side of it. Keep pushing both glutes into the floor. If you can bring all the body down, then do so. If not, no worries, rest on to your elbows or even the hands if you need to. You should be feeling that stretch going through the glute, potentially down the quad as well, and through the IT band. Slowly walking the hands back in towards the body, bringing the body up. And now taking that leg out in front of you. Deep breath in and exhale as you reach all the way down that front leg. You want to again keep those arms nice and straight down either side of the leg, helping you to reach further down your leg. Keeping the leg nice and straight, making sure it's not bent down the center. And then slowly bringing the body up. And repeating on the opposite side now. So we're going back into that sequence of lunges on the opposite leg. Ensuring correct alignment of the back leg being nice and pulled up from the knee. Front knee over the ankle, ensuring that 90-degree right angle is maintained. Engaging that core to help you come up. Pulling up from the chest, dropping those glutes nice and low, dropping the hips low so you can really open the hip flexor. Taking the arms out to the side, really ensuring those abdominal muscles are engaged to help you balance, and keep pulling up and back from the chest, dropping those glutes, dropping those hips. Arms up if you can. Focus on something. And let's take a gentle back bend there. Good, really stretching out those back muscles before bringing the arms back round and resting the back leg onto the floor. Good, now you can take your hands again to the lower back if you would like that extra stretch all the way through the hip flexor, pushing the lower back forward to increase that range of movement. Now turning that front foot out to the side so you can bring both hands on the inside of the leg. Really making sure your weight is on the center of the knee, not resting on the side of the joint. Coming down to the elbows if you can. If not, just stay on those hands and keep driving that weight forward to open up your hip flexor. Slowly coming back up, and again, if you want to take that extra stretch of the quad, then you can by bringing that back foot into the glute muscles. Keeping your weight forward will help you really reach that position. Relaxing the knee down, and now maintaining that right angle within the back leg, and stretching down forward over the extended straight leg at the front. Good. Each exhale, you want to try and drop the body closer towards the leg. Keep reaching those fingertips forward before gently coming up and out of that stretch and into your pigeon stretch. Keeping the back leg nice and straight and bending your front leg into your pigeon position so you can get the stretch all the way through the glute muscles and going through the quad and the IT band there. And it's up to you how much you would like to lower yourself to the ground. Keep driving those hips into the floor. And slowly walking those hands back in towards the body. Good. Now stretch that back out from right to left. Just gently twisting out anything that needs to have a good little stretch before reaching all the way up and relaxing over. You want to make sure the backs of the legs are nice and straight and relaxing the body down in towards the legs. Coming all the way up, and we're going to repeat as we inhale, reach up, exhale, and reaching all the way down. Keep stretching forward before lifting all the way up, turning over to our front and stretching up into our cobra stretch. ensuring our hands stay aligned directly underneath our shoulders, dropping our glutes and hips into the floor so we can get the lower back stretch. Pushing up into your downward dog, pushing our heels into the floor, head back through the arms and driving through a flat back, lifting those hips up. Lovely deep hamstring stretch for you guys here. And then forward and coming into this position where you want to bring both the feet together, soles of the feet together, and the elbows into the crevices of our knees, so both legs are turned out. But as you can see, you want to go through a straight back to help rotate those hip flexors back and open up the hips, pushing through a nice straight spine. Exactly, so bringing that chest all the way forward, driving through the center of the spine to help rotate those hips backwards. Taking the hands on the floor in front of you and really reaching forward as much as you can to bring that body down towards the feet. Eventually you should feel the knees dropping towards the sides before walking the hands all the way back in. And now let's turn that top leg down on top of the other leg, opening up that hip flexor, pushing down and then swap over, pushing down on the opposite side. Good. Now you want to bring one of the legs into the chest so you can get that stretch all the way through there, extending from the glute all the way round, potentially down the IT band and the quad. Really pulling that knee into the chest, keeping the chest lifted and ensuring both glutes stay in contact with the floor. Swapping over, repeating exactly the same, pushing that hip back down into the floor so it doesn't become lifted. Good. Now bringing the weight all the way up onto the toes, into a crouch position, exchanging the weight through the right foot and the left, before pushing up to two straight legs, hamstring stretch, bringing the knee towards the knees, and then gently rolling up through the body. Now we're going into some final quad stretches, making sure that the quads stay connected together. Use the arm to balance as well as the engagement of your abs. Bringing that foot all the way back into the glute. And relax, release, shake it out, and well done, guys. You've completed another workout.